Hello class, my name is Andrew Fernandez and this is my video discussion for this week for media history. And this week is in parentheses, so I hope all my classmates were able to recover from the winter storms and hopefully recover internet so they can get this assignment done. But the question that I focused on for this week, discuss the media's responsibility to the public. Does the media have a responsibility to give people what they want or give the people what they need? Who makes the determination what the people want or need? What are your thoughts? Please provide specific real-world examples to make your points. So does the media have a responsibility to give people what they want or give people what they need? And honestly, I think it's both, right? Because as a society, we want what we need. So for example, in this chapter, we learned that media does well in times of crises. So where does the public go to get information? They go to the news media. So in a time of crisis, what we want is the information that's going to be valuable for us. An example of this is, just as I mentioned a little earlier, the winter storm that took place. Why were the outages taking place? How often they were taking place? Why wasn't Texas prepared for something like this? Those are valuable. That's valuable information that we need at the moment. And personally, I was relying on the media to get that information, and now I'm going to rely on the media to gather the answers to the why. Why weren't we prepared? How are we going to ensure that this does not happen again? And so, maybe that's just the media mind in me that I rely on the media to get those answers. So again, I believe we want credible information, and we lean on the media for that. So who makes the determination what the people want or need? And I believe the messenger provides or makes the determination what the people want or need. So for example, in my role, I'm the executive director of communications for a school district. And so as you can imagine, we had a lot of questions that came our way from staff, from families, from the city of San Marcos asking us, what are we going to do during this crisis? How are the buildings? And so I think of the media as me in this situation being the messenger to our school district. So I determined, of course, with with the top level people in the district, what information was being sent out on a daily basis. And so I provided information that I felt and we felt as a district that our constituents needed to know. So for example, will our buildings be open on this day? What are the expectations for staff because our campuses are closed? Are we going to online learning? Are we going to no learning for the day and it just take care of your needs? So, who makes the determination what the people want or need is the media, right? And now more than ever, because of social media, they have access to us through our cell phones, through our social media, and so they can determine, what information we need, and of course what we want. But ultimately, the messenger provides the information. So, another real life example besides the winter storm is COVID, right? So when this came, almost a year ago today, when COVID hit the United States, we depended on the media to give us what we needed. So that's why it's a fine line between want and need, because we want the truth, we want the facts, we want to know how can we as individuals protect ourselves, and how can we as society protect ourselves. And so with COVID and winter storms, those are two major real life experiences where it really comes down to what we need to know as a society. A quote that hurts shares in this unit. Well, it all looks quiet, no war today. And then his response was, "You provide the pictures, I will provide the war." And this goes to manipulating a narrative. And I think we saw a manipulation of a narrative with Senator Cruz. Senator Cruz, took a vacation during a time of crisis in Texas with his family. And so why is it for the media to decide whether that's a right or wrong thing to do? Honestly, whether I agree with it or not, that's not up to me to decide. For me to decide, other than casting my vote when the time is right. But honestly, there was so much attention drawn to Senator Cruz during a time of crisis where I would rather be getting information and updates on the power grid going out and when my power and water were going to be turned on rather than Senator Cruz's vacation to Mexico. So the need is always going to be our want or for society, and so that's my interpretation for this week's unit. Um, it comes down to needing to know and really just understanding the facts and not manipulating the narrative. So the media does a good job of manipulating narratives, as we've seen through Senator Cruz, and with COVID, even as far as President Trump calling it the Chinese disease. Like those are just news stories to grab people's attention, to grab or to direct them towards a platform or towards a media outlet. But at the end of the day, I think society deserves to hear the truth and hear the facts. And especially during times of crisis, the need is always going to outweigh the want. So, looking forward to feedback from my classmates. I hope everyone is recovering, and looking forward to hearing your responses.